Assalamu alaikum, beautiful people. Namaste, adab, and a warm welcome to all of you today. Welcome to the special premiere show of the Boss Ladies Club on our YouTube channel, celebrating the independence of India. Tomorrow is going to be the 74th independence of India, 74th year since the independence of India. So let us take time to celebrate the people behind, the freedom fighters behind the independence that we celebrate. No, I am not going to be talking about the names that you always hear in the newspapers, in the media, in the books, and in history as such. But I am going to be telling you about a freedom fighter whose name is seldom used, but who could be called as someone who played such a major role which could be compared to Mahatma Gandhi himself. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this person was a woman, and her name was Abadi Banu Begum. To take you through her life, she was born in the year 1852 in the United Province before India became what it is today. The 1857 revolt affected her family gravely. Great losses and punishment. She suffered great losses and punishment. She went on to marry a senior official called Abdul Ali Khan of Rampur. Like we see the pandemic going on right now, the COVID-19, a pandemic was going on back then too, called cholera. And unfortunately, her husband fell prey to this pandemic and passed away, and left her with 6 children, 5 sons and 1 daughter. During that time, we know the condition of women, how it was. So do you think she survived, especially being a widow of 6 children? Yes, she did. She didn't just survive, but she went on to become a warrior, a freedom fighter of our country. The most important thing that she did was giving education to her children. And she wanted to send them to an English medium school, for which her relatives, her uncle, said he would not pay at all. So you know what she did? In fact, they used to tell her to sell her property which her husband had left behind. But she did not do that. That was her last thing given by her husband, so how could she sell it? Instead, she sold her jewelry so that she could afford education to her children. And because of that, she sent one of them to Oxford University and one of them to Aligarh Muslim University. And do you know who these 2 children of hers were? The famous Ali brothers who led the Khilafat movement of India. Maulana Muhammad Ali Jauhar, who went to Oxford University, and Maulana Shaukat Ali, who went to Aligarh University. Now we know how famous these Ali brothers were, and their mother was none other than Abadi Banu Begum, famously known as B.Amma. In 1920, the Ali brothers allied with the Indian National Congress, who were running the non-cooperation movement back then, along with Gandhi. Some say Ali brothers were like the right hand, the left hand of Mahatma Gandhi himself. So imagine the kind of way that B.Amma would have raised her children. You know, in 1917, during the Khilafat movement, there was a protest, there was a gathering of people, thousands of them, and right in the front of this crowd was a woman wearing a burqa. And no, she was not giving any religious talk then. She was talking about the independence of India. She was creating awareness in the hearts of those thousands of people to fight for the independence of our country. And that was none other than B.Amma herself. That was the kind of lady that she was. Clad in burqa, talking about the independence of India, fighting for the independence of our country. During the Swadeshi and Khadi movement, B. Amma toured the entire country asking for collecting funds and organizing meetings for women. And her colleagues were famous freedom fighters like Sarala Devi, Sarojini Naidu, Begum Hazrat Mohani. These were her colleagues. That is how strong B. Amma was, the kind of bravery that she had and the colleagues that she was working with. So we know that in the Khilafat movement, Mahatma Gandhi and the Ali brothers were arrested and were in jail. That did not stop B. Amma at all. She went around all of India keeping the movement going. She took part in the Tilak Swaraj movement, Tilak Fund movement, which was organized by Bal Gangadhar Tilak. A woman in burqa went around collecting funds for Bal Gangadhar Tilak. That was her dedication to India. And I am going to be leaving you with her famous saying, which will make you see the kind of patriot that she was, the kind of freedom fighter that she was. She said to her sons, "Jaan beta, tum khilafat pe de do," meaning, sacrifice your life for the khilafat of our country, for the independence of our country. That is the kind of patriot that she was. Let us remember on this Independence Day the kind of freedom fighters that were there, that fought for the independence of our country. Yes, we know the famous ones, but let us also remember the ones that are not mentioned in the history books, but who also played a major role behind the independence of our country. Kuldeep Nair, a senior journalist, writes in his book, "It is painful to see that B. Amma's contribution is not taught in our schools and colleges' history books, even though her contribution was so grave." Another book written by Rajmohan Gandhi called Eight Lives, a study of the Hindu and Muslim encounter, writes how a young widow gets her children ready for school with humble clothes, simple food, and the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So ladies and gentlemen, B. Amma did not just talk her religion to her children. She also spoke about the independence of our country. That is the kind of freedom fighters that made India happen what it is today. Who helped us celebrate India the way we are celebrating today. Stay tuned to know about another freedom fighter whom you wouldn't have known if not for the kind of work that they did and were not recognized as much as they should have. But now let us bring them all back and let us recognize them. Stay tuned to know who the next freedom fighter is.
Hello beautiful people, hope you all are doing great and fine. Myself Arshia Moin here, one of the co-team member of TBLC, gonna talk about a legend woman in the history. Some women fear the fire, some women just become it. You might have known about Jhansi Ki Rani, the Rani Lakshmi Bai, but you might have not known about the Jhalkari Bai. So today I'm going to talk about this legend woman, the Jhalkari Bai, who was not known in the history for years. So this woman, Jhalkari Bai, was another Jhansi Ki Rani, the woman who took on British forces disguised as Rani Lakshmi Bai. She is said to have born resembling as Rani Lakshmi Bai. The tale of this incredible woman, Jhalkari Bai, was lost in the pages of history. Coming from a humble background, she rose to become an advisor to the legendary Rani Lakshmi Bai. In fact, she was so courageous that during the Battle of Fort of Jhansi, she disguised herself as Rani Lakshmi Bai and took command of the Jhansi army, thus giving the real queen a chance to escape in the meantime. This prominent fighter during the rebellion was so courageous and was able to strike fear in the hearts of the British army and left behind the rich legacy for millions to emulate. She was the only child to her parents, but her mother had passed away when she was still young. They were so poor that she did not have the opportunity to go to school and get a formal education. But however, Since her childhood, she was taught how to wield a weapon skillfully, and she was given horseback riding lessons. Once, when the dacoits tried to raid the house of a businessman living in the jungle, it was Jhalkari Bai who single-handedly drove them away. It is also said that she killed a tiger in the jungle with just her axe when the animal tried to attack her. There is also another popular tale telling that how she took on a leopard with just a stick. The First War of Independence, Jhansi played a crucial role in the rebellion, and Rani Lakshmi Bai was one of the leaders who took on the British forces. As it has been well documented in the history books, since this brave queen took command of the British forces from her fort with just an army of 400, later she was betrayed by one of her own commanders, making defeat imminent. That's when Jhalkari Bai sprung into action, without even thinking twice the danger she was putting herself in. She disguised herself as a queen and went back to the battlefield, took command of the forces, and she walked up right to the General Rose's camp. Upon reaching, she loudly yelled that she wanted a meeting with the general himself. Given the resemblance of the queen, it effectively confused the British army. When the general asked her what punishment she ought to be given, she looked at his eyes squarely and asked him to hang her. And then he replied that even looking at her with the way she spoke admiringly, and he replied that even if 1% of women were like her, then the British would have left the country defeated. A woman soldier of Rani Lakshmi Bai's army, Jhalkari Bai, eventually rose to become an advisor of the queen herself. She was a Dalit hero who is still being worshipped by them. There are many statues in her honor, but she is one true unsung hero of the history. And that was all about this legend woman. And continue watching and head on to the next part of our video to get some more inspirations from these great women. Thank you. Ma'as-salama.
Salam, Adab, Bonjour and Namaste. Myself Rana Fatima, one of the core team members of TBLC. When we talk about women's role in 1857, we immediately think of Rani Lakshmi Bai and Begum Hazrat Mahal. But were these the only women who contributed to the struggle? There were many more from the non-dominant caste that were significant towards the freedom struggle that were hardly spoken of. Maybe that was because they belonged to marginalized groups in society, and so their sacrifices weren't taken into account, and no one cared to propagate their chronicles of courage. So here I am today to talk to you about this Viranganai Uda Devi Pasi. This Dalit Viranganai Uda Devi was born in a small village called Aut in Uttar Pradesh, India. On seeing the rising anger of the Indian people against the British administration, Uda Devi reached to the queen of the district, Queen Begum Hazrat Mahal, to enlist a war in order to form a battle, and Begum helped Uda Devi to form a women's battalion under her command, and Uda Devi was married to Maka Pasi, who was a soldier in the army of Hazrat Mahal. Uda Devi and her sisters were known to be called as warriors or heroines of 1857 Indian rebellion against the British East India Company. When the British attacked Aut, Uda Devi and her husband were a part of the army resistance. When she came to know that her husband has been died in the battle, she unleashed her final campaign with full force. If you see in the middle of an intersection outside Secunderabad in Lucknow stands a statue of a patina-covered sexually ambiguous figure carrying a rifle and walking forward with a determined glare. The inscription below the statue named the figure as Uda Devi and the heroine of the mutiny of 1857. What happened in the battle? Uda Devi participated in the Secunderabad battle in November 1857. After issuing the instructions to her battalion, she climbed up a pepple tree and started to shoot the British soldiers. Imagine a woman climbing up a tree. how much of confidence, willpower, and determination she would have upon herself. And a British officer then noted that the soldiers who have died had this bullet wound, indicating a steep, like a downward trajectory, that the bullets were coming from a sky or from a higher altitude. And then, suspecting a hidden sniper, the officer ordered to fire at the trees, and a rebel fell down to the ground dead. Upon investigation, they found out that the sniper was to be revealed as Uda Devi. Uda Devi was armed with a pair of heavy old patterned cavalry pistols, one of them which was in her belt, still loaded, and her pouch was still about half full. Uda Devi, a Virangana, has killed about half a dozen men, and she is an inspiration to all the women from the non-dominant caste. And every year during November 16th, members of the Pasi caste gather at the site at her final plunge and celebrate her. They are all from Bihar, Madhya Pradesh and West Bengal, and mostly the women from remote villages. They travelled long distance to attend. They chant the rousing slogan, Uda Devi Amar Rahe, Uda Devi Zindabad. Uda Devi is immortal, long live Uda Devi. It's been a century that Uda Devi has been perished, but still the memory of Uda Devi is kept alive in the Dalit communities. कोई उनको हबसिन कहता, कोई कहता नीच अछूत, अबला कोई उन्हें बतलाएं, कोई कहे उन्हें मजबूत. Some call them Africans, some untouchable, some call them feeble, others strong. Many African women were employed in the court of Oudh, as Nawabs and emperors, to guard the Haram. They too perished during the battle during 1857. The crucial feature of this great uprising is the participation. Women not only from royal and noble background, but also women from vulnerable communities took part, and they played a very important role. Though freedom was fought for by all, it was granted only to a few. I would like to end by saying the words of Peter Marshall. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as an opportunity to do what is right. We, the Boss Ladies Club, is organizing another interesting YouTube live event tomorrow from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Mahila Mange Azadi by our international speaker A.S. Fatima Muzaffar ma'am. We are so excited and looking forward, and we are hoping to see you all back again tomorrow. Registration form is given in the description. Get yourself registered and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay connected through email and Instagram.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता. पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा. विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा.